And the scene is set tonight again in New Sarum. Thank you all for watching. Um, Stefan tonight has woken up rather well, in a rather stable mindset. The the stability, though, is only slightly marred by the confusion still prevalent in his mind, the things he's trying to work out. He still keeps going back to that meeting with Ventru. And the end of the meeting, that clear vision, that crystal clear reflection in his psyche. He finds himself tonight at Shell Beach. Although there are a few large bonfires on the beach, they're all scattered. Fairly large groups, but they stretch with some distance between each other along the shores of Shell Beach. Stefan finds himself on a farther end, a little south along the shore, peering out at the waves as he takes a seat in the sand, and staring up at the sliver like a thumbnail of the moon up in the night sky. Only barely starly lit. Very few stars actually shine on this evening, much like the moon in its crescent shape. He tries to gain focus, tries to just kind of let go, actually. Thinking about sorting out his thoughts, more or less. And just kind of sitting, enjoying the sounds of the waves cresting on the beach, cresting against each other. And with some focus, he opens his senses, and in the distance he can hear some of the sounds of people reveling, partying. He smiles as he just kind of sits, looks out over the water.
Howard Holliday is walking along the beach, carrying in his right arm a book entitled Gay Science by Friedrich Nietzsche. He's looking out onto the waves, just watching them intently, sometimes looking back ahead of himself to try to move out of the way of people he walks past. He is very confident in his stride, and he has a very content and placid look on his face, as people may notice as they walk by him. He just continues to walk down the beach, and just in his head, just remembering the quotes of Nietzsche, and slightly remembering some of the dreams that he has been having recently, his nightmares. They have been much less bad and more infrequent than usual. pulls out a small pipe, lights it, and continues to walk.
Are you heading out onto the beach from the center, the north, or the south?
I'm heading from south to the north, just walking northern along the side.
Okay. You're walking along. Occasionally, you feel the compulsion to open the book you're carrying and just kind of slow your pace and steady your pace a little bit, and just kind of flip to a page that kind of like I said, there's a compulsion that in your mind to flip to this page. You don't know why. By the way, what is the most important page too?
Hmm?
What is a page that would be compelling in Howard's mind? That's the page that you turn to.
Oh, the page where the quote, God is dead and we have killed him, is on.
That's the page you open it to. And as you're walking along the beach, you completely lose yourself in your slow, steady pace as the pipe smoke rises out through between your lips, and you read the following page while keeping your thumb holding the place of the previous.
God is dead and we have killed him. Is dead and we have killed him.
Can you please pay attention where you are going? You almost tripped over me.
Oh, apologize for that,
As
sir.
you are completely jarred as this man sitting down on a beach looks up with a very commanding yet lilting tone to his voice, tells you to pay attention.
Oh, dreadfully sorry, sir.
Realize who it is.
Stefan?
Yeah?
It's me, Howard Holiday. Remember?
Now I am remembering.
Okay.
Yes, the library, I believe it was. I think we met. We spoke there for a while. How are you doing? It's been a very long time.
Well, I am
Okay.
doing well. Not bad at all.
Who gets it?
My job to get the bills paid is going well,
That's very good.
and at least you seem to be, how could we say it, more calm and less apt to make a scene.
Oh yes, I'm dreadfully sorry for that before. During that time, I'd been hadn't slept in a very long time. I was angry at my neighbors and things like that.
What's your willpower?
Current willpower is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. Are you looking down at Stefan at all?
Yes, I am.
He kind of turns his gaze up at this point, but please, and he looks he looks like face to face. But please, do do find yourself to sit.
Oh, yes.
Let me actually. Let's see. It's yeah. Oh yeah. Before you can even respond yourself, you find yourself on the ground, sitting, as if you were compelled.
Dreadfully sorry about that. Forgive me. Forgive my lack of manners.
It is fine. There is no affront taken. Now, what brings you out here?
Well, I've just been decided to take a stroll out tonight, seeing as how it's gotten much warmer recently. That winter, ugh, hated it. I just needed some more warmer air, basically. My house is very stuffy as it is right now.
But this is are a part of what is natural in the world. I quite enjoyed the winter.
It was a very nice time. The only problem is that I find is that it just lasts too long.
Nonsense. It is quite quite a thing of beauty. It's a way the landscape is painted in white as far as you can see.
Yes, very much so. It's just beautiful out there, the ocean.
It's not so much just the look of the sea, it is the sound. Something about the ebb and flow, the crashing of the waves. But that is all personal perspective, of course. How goes your studies, if you have studied?
Well, recently I've been studying through more theoretical terms as to our existence. My main idea is I've been looking into metaphysics more than anything else because I was a skeptic of it now, but I've begun to realize now more or less that our existence can't be just merely through the means of science. The current science that we have cannot be really explained. We must delve deeper into the theoretical terms to figure something out.
Have you given thought to the fact that the nature of this condition, as you put it, this way of existing is a bit more
Esoteric?
yeah, something of stories, legends, even fairy tales.
I actually have. I guess you can't consider me much of an atheist anymore, more of an agnostic, because I still have my doubts that God exists, but I have to take in the factor that there probably is something more out there. Because I think it was it H.G. Wells who said it, that any advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. But that doesn't rule out magic.
I think, it has been many years, and as you know, collegiate students, university students do have required reading, and even in philosophy classes, philosophy is one of those basic curriculum that all university students must take. It has been years, but I believe that particular one does. Yeah, I do recall hearing something along those lines.
I've had to take this into the factor because I have realized that we have powers now that no ordinary man they could not do this. So we are something more than just that.
Howdy ho, person in the door. Never mind. Um, but however, whether you believe in the existence of God or simply believe in the existence of some higher power, you cannot change that belief on a whim, and that is what you are trying to do. You must take it step by step. If you believe that there is no God, then there is no God until you see proof to the contrary. And have you seen proof that there is a God?
I have not, but I did not say I did
Then
not believe in him.
do not concentrate on changing your philosophy until you have reason to. It is a step-by-step process. You're a scientist. You believe in the scientific method.
At that point, they'll hear. I have seen no proof that God exists, but I have seen proof that the devil exists, and that is proof enough that God may exist. And they'll hear, and while they'll turn around, they'll see coming toward them a hooded figure with only a left arm and a right arm, no right arm.
Let me actually, because I'm going to catch you out of my peripheral vision. Are you more to where my left or my right would be?
I'd be more behind you. Are you staring at the water?
I mean behind behind to the left or behind to the right?
Are you staring at the water?
Yes. Well, actually, I'm looking at Howard having a conversation, but occasionally veering back.
Let's see. Let's make this a. Okay, I wanted to. I'll throw. So this was my nightmare roll. Let's see. I'll throw 1, 2, 3. Wait. I'll throw 6 dice. 1, 2 is to your left. 3, 4 is directly behind you, and 5, 6 is to your right. Sorry, to your left.
So when I turn a little bit, I'm actually gonna. Ooh, well, at least I got 1 success, so it's not a botch, it's a fail. As long as you get at least 1 basic success, because it's a basic success at this point, so yeah, as long as you get 1. Alright, so, no, I don't notice who you are. But I do notice a figure. Excuse me? The figure turns to his left.
He'll smile. Oh, you'll see a smile in the small portion of his face you can see, and he'll say, "God is the light, and the devil is the darkness. They cannot be one without the other." How are you, Mr. Brunfield?
Damien?
And he'll smile and goes, "It seems you can recognize. It seems you are pretty good at recognizing people." And the hood will come off, and you'll recognize him in black.
The sound of the voice just kind of hit me a bit. Please take a seat opposite. We will make this a circular meeting.
He'll sit down and he'll look at Howard and goes, "Mr. Holiday, not surprised.
Hello,
I'll say I blame you."
Hello, Damien. What happened to your arm?
What?
I
And Stefan's eyes just go to your, what was it, your right arm or left?
right arm.
Right arm? Goes to
And he'll say, You could say I traded it in.
You traded your left. Okay, I'm not mad. You traded your left arm for what?
Getting
Please.
out of the place alive.
This is really neat. They
Out of there.
Huh?
Joke. Okay, I'll say a little place called Joker Street. Hasn't your brother told
Okay.
you about me? And
We
what
are
happened?
going to take this step by step, and even though Stefan's tone of voice is level, there's a bit of authoritativeness that comes out in it. What exactly are you talking about with Joker Street? That was where you were last seen.
Yes. And
The creatures. You were
as far
taken. And they let you go in exchange for your right arm?
it seemed
What creatures?
Never mind, Howard.
I think I have a right to know at this point because the man's arm is missing.
I will explain it to you at a later date.
Okay, fine.
I'll say as far as I know, I was there the entire time. It's hard to remember when you slip in and out of consciousness, and the only memory you have is being tortured.
I do suppose that is that is true. You have some memories that have been repressed. Hmm. Hmm.
He'll smile, guys. It seems my side has been busy. I need to talk to some higher ups. And he'll smile, guys. Would your Primogen be willing to talk?
I believe you should talk to your own Primogen if you have not.
So guys, I'll talk to him. Yes, I'll probably talk to him first.
Now,
But
Mr. Black. As Stefan kind of he straightens up a little, or he straightens up a little bit, kind of puts his hands together, kind of loosely, like this. Tell me, if you can. Well, let's start this properly. I need you to close your eyes and don't breathe, but imagine yourself breathing. And try to think back to the last memory of the place you were before you were cut loose. And focus in on that thought. Try to imagine if you were, if you went in and out of consciousness and maybe have caught some kind of glimpse of anything valuable in this place. Really relax. Let yourself become lighter. Let the tension in your arms, your shoulders, your legs, torso, and feet just kind of loosen. Find yourself in a state of perfect relaxation and try to focus in on your last memory of this place you were. And I'm actually going to have to make a bit of a roll. Let me see. It's going to be difficulty 6, but because I'm missing one of the skills, it's going to be 7 and reduced by 2 because of my voice. So it's difficulty 5. It's not bad, actually. As he speaks, the authoritative tone is still there, but it's a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more lilting, a lot more soothing, a lot more. How can we say it? It's like the sound of the waves whenever you surf. It will go in and out, with the tidal flow, with the lunar pull on the water, and it's actually not too difficult to feel yourself try to relax and think.
Kevin will try this, and out of character, I haven't been told if I was actually held anywhere else, so we'll just assume I was there the whole time. And Damon will close his eyes and goes, I've tried this. I have never gotten anywhere.
Indulge me. Close your eyes and let the tension, let the anger leave your body. Let every inch of your person relax and just kind of, well, imagine it like a form of energy leaving from the center outward to your fingertips and your toes. And imagine yourself lighter and in a state of serenity and calm.
Would there be a role for this?
For this, I would say, No, it's pretty much role playing. I mean, I suppose you could roll self-control, but your clan weakness would affect the outcome as to whether or not you're able to actually.
Well, my clan weakness is only for self-control when it's to resist frenzy. It's like not to resist all emotions.
But any emotion and passion can set off a Bruja. If you're not able to relax because of some thought in the back of your head, then you're not able to relax because of that thought. If it, gets your blood up.
Anyways, out of character, I haven't been told if he was anywhere else. I've just been told, as far as he knows, he's been in Joker Street the whole time, and he'll just close his mind, close his eyes, and breathe and says, "All I see is where I was held in Joker Street. I think nothing else."
Now, you, this,
Curious about that.
now you are
Oh, I don't-
and you are thinking of this thought, this vision, this memory. Describe the surroundings you see. What kind of room are you in?
Wait, out of character for 1 second. Can I use Auspex to basically like see what's going on? Like, because it's like aura, right?
Do you have aura perception?
What level is that?
2.
May 8th is a Friday.
What? No, I have 1. Can I do anything with 1?
You can heighten your senses. That would be about it. And there's really nothing supernatural going on, so perception awareness wouldn't be a roll. Okay.
You'll see Damon kind of twitch a little. He'll say, "Not exactly the kind of memory I want to remember."
It is important that you, and hearing the agitation in your voice, it is important, as I'm actually going to make charisma empathy. That you focus in and allow yourself to let your passions subside for a moment. Your feelings, your emotions don't matter as much, and that is actually, oh my god, that is four freaking successes too, and that's a high degree of success. So while there's no supernatural compulsion, there's nothing supernatural about this. You find yourself calming, just like you're finding that your passions, your whatever makes you angry, whatever gets your blood up, you find yourself actually able to calm down. You know, there's something to Stefan's voice right now that is like, it's almost like magic, but there's no supernatural compulsion. And just focus on the surroundings. What kind of room were you in?
I have already told one of your brothers about this. Axel, I told him. All I remember is being in a white room. A bright room, and the only color in this room was white. Like it was kind of like a lab you see in the movies. I don't know. I have no idea what it was. All I know is I got out of there for... If you look at his right arm, missing right arm, and say, for a price.
Okay, good. In this bright, white, sterile room, like a lab, or maybe a hospital type of surroundings, were you sitting or laying down?
Neither. I was held against the hard surface. My feet weren't touching the floor, so I wasn't standing.
But were you looking up at the lights, the ceilings?
I was looking straight ahead. I could not look anywhere else. I had a angel touch his neck. Some kind of... I had something on my neck that made it that I could not look down.
In this room, was there anybody else?
There was Trevor. He's the
Was
one that let me out. He's the one that...
Was he looking down at you, or was he looking straight ahead at you?
He was looking up. I was, like I said, my feet weren't touching the ground. I was held up against a hard surface.
What was it that Trevor was asking you? Now imagine. Now, keep focus here. What did Trevor ask you? What did he say to you?
He'll smile. He'll put his hands up like that. Well, one hand up and the other one is like that. He'll say, he asked which one he should take away.
Why did he ask you this?
He wanted to run experiments on me. Well, not on me, on a part of me.
While you're relaxed, your eyes are closed, while you are in this room, as you are now, what did he do after he removed your limb?
God, how many times I'm gonna have to tell this story? He let me go afterwards. That is all.
Took your limb, your arm, and let you go. Was there anything before he let you go? This is very important.
There was, and I've told Axel about this. You can ask him. I do not like repeating myself. I would rather tell either my sire or my primogen about this next. No offense.
If you wish to resolve this in your mind so that it does not drive you to madness or passion or irrational acts, it is important that you remain calm and recall and recite the details.
He'll say, oh, I am remaining calm. I just do not feel like talking about it to, I wouldn't say strangers, to acquaintances. I would rather talk to someone like my father about it.
Tell me now, and Stefan kind of, he sits back a little bit. How much do you know about the energy, the power, the capabilities of our blood?
Not much. I am trying to find out more with the current situation I'm in. It would be it would be handy to know more.
Then allow me to help you. a a small favor for a small favor. Agreed?
You'll say you'll ask me to tell you more about that night, won't you?
No, 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 no. What I am proposing is, have you have you ever been injured since you began this existence that you now find yourself in? And how long has these injuries taken for you to recover from?
I have healed very quickly from any injuries I've had. And
Have
he'll look
you,
at his arm and goes, it's never been that bad. I've never had.
but it has always been an unconscious thing. It has always been something that your undead form
Yes, it came naturally.
does itself.
Yes.
What if I told you that you, if you sit and focus and concentrate, that you can will your blood to act in some rather interesting ways, in ways of regeneration. Our blood has this regenerative capability, and you can do it with some focus, practiced focus, and as if you are commanding your vitae, your blood. Have you ever considered this?
He'll smile and goes, my sire has told me that we can recover wounds if we wish. It was but he'll say though a missing arm is more than a wound. I wanted to know if that healing if we could heal from being a crippled. I believe he could have. I believe he would have told me, but he's been very busy.
And this is where a small favor for a small favor comes in. My sire told me quite a lot before I came back to New Sarum, having left Immortal and having come back vampire. But while I was in New York and he was instructing me in what I needed to know, a good friend as he is, he told me that all vampires can recover from grievous injuries. So, and this will take quite some time if it is even possible. But when you are alone in your apartment tonight, before you go to sleep, when the sun comes up, extend the stump just below your shoulder and try to imagine your fingertips to your hand, your thumb, the rest of your arm past your wrist, still connected to the stump. And imagine this as if the stump of your right arm is recreating itself.
He'll put
and
his thumb.
will your blood to do this.
He'll look at the sea and the moon behind, above it, and he'll put his stump like that and goes, "Perhaps I have already started doing this unconsciously." He goes, "Not every night. A few nights I have done what you said. I put my arm. I would look at my arm in the light of the moon, and I would visualize my arm like you did, and I don't know why, but I felt like when I use some of our gift, I felt," and he'll look around and goes, "I felt blood leaving my body."
But nothing has happened. You still have the same stump that you did.
He'll say, "No, like you said, it will take a long time, if at all possible, and
How far
I've only done it a few times. I've only done it
how
a few
far from
nights."
the shoulder was it removed? Like how long is the stump from the shoulder?
He cut a I think it was a 2/3 of the arm off.
So it's the stump comes just above where your elbow was, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's still where it is.
I'll have to see with the MC, with the storytellers, but if it's grown, it wouldn't be like noticeable, because he's only done it. Maybe if he's done it, he's already done it like once or twice.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be visible.
Try to actually will your blood to reconstruct this. Try to give it instruction as to your last memory of your right arm. And do this for quite a few nights. And see if you notice anything different.
And what am I to do for you in exchange?
Oh, just something small. If I need, something answer the question or something like that, or maybe some kind of small contact. That will be it. Just something tiny. If I need to know one piece of information, you tell me if you can. If not, then the favor has been repaid all the same.
He'll small and goes, "I'll help you if I can."
That is all I ask. And you try to really start speaking to your blood. As Stefan kind of sits back and looks at Howard with a let's see, what kind of look on his face? Like a, what do you think kind of look on your face? On his face?
Interesting. What I would like to know is, who were these crazies who chopped your arm off?
They are, as I have been told, capable of taking on different shapes, malleably so. They can contort their flesh and bone, and Stefan kind of looks at Damien with a look of, does this sound correct?
So what did you say? I was looking at something else.
They malleably can change their form, moving their flesh and their bones. Before Stefan looks at Damien with a, does this sound correct look on his face?
Goes, yes.
It's frightening.
This is what is the scary part about them is we could have run into them, thinking it was one of us, thinking it was a friend.
Oh my god.
They also eat flesh and drink blood. All the same. They consume whole bodies.
Disgusting.
But they are quite logical.
No.
So, yeah. They are quite disturbing at times.
So say, guys, tell me, Stefan, have you seen shit, I had her name, Nikki's character,
Lacey,
guys, have you seen Lacey yet, lately?
unfortunately, I do not associate with Lacey all that often. She seems to be off-put by me for some reason. Well, as long as they do not ever learn anything about us in detail, I suppose it is all well and good that their intellectual curiosities are stated. Again, so long as it does not mean that they, learn compromising things about us.
These creatures. Did you get a name? What do they call themselves?
They call themselves by a single name, apparently.
And that would be?
Well, Damien interacted with Trevor. One of his associates, as I have been told, is a very large man by the name of Johann,
There's one called Andrew.
who is even taller.
Oh yes, he's a freakishly big guy.
And I'm not sure if there are any more. I believe there are 4 or 5 that I have counted.
There's one that calls himself Abraham.
Yeah.
It's frightening sounding. But I meant, by name, I meant, do they have, like, the creatures? Like, they're a race of creatures, I presume, so do we have a name for what to, like, to call them as a whole?
Not that I have been told.
They sound frightening and dangerous to me.
Oh, they are.
Perhaps.
So
Now,
if they're able to
However-
control their own flesh and bone, are they able to do it with others? Is that why they took your arm?
From what I have been told, they change their own forms. They do not have the capability of changing other people's forms.
Good.
If, however, Damien, your arm does not grow back, do feel free to contact me. I may be able to help you out with a type of replacement. I am quite skilled in forming anatomical features from inanimate objects. I may be able to find some way of giving you some semblance of normalcy back.
because I will look into it if it doesn't grow back.
I do not know how highly the prosthetic would function, but it would look very much like your original arm, I think, looked.
And case, what about your sister Mercy? Have you seen her lately?
Mercy. The jittery younger at the church. I've not seen her in quite some time.
I hope she's alright. And I hope Lacey is alright too. I haven't gotten word of them since I came back.
Well, then you should catch up with your clanmates.
Sure, guys. I tend to make my friendships purely on what I feel about people and how they feel about me. I know clans make he'll think. He'll say clans make people for you to approach at first, but I like to make friends. Well, I don't really care what clan my friends are from.
My suggestion is that given the interaction at that failure of a meeting in that rundown building in the projects, it is advisable that you keep your distance from any of my clan and stick to your own until such time as you hear otherwise. I am not going to be held responsible, and none of my clan will be held responsible for anything that happens as a result of some ill-conceived Bruja passion that decides to rear its ugly head and drive people to anger and violence.
It's funny. It seems you do not recall. I was one of the ones that voted against violence against the creatures, and although I am pissed off about what they did to me, I am still against violence against them.
No,
I realize
as
that
I
if we
recall, most of them, and yourself included, were all too eager, without listening to any form of reason, without considering non-violent alternatives. And that is why I got caught up in it. And the fact that Axel was pushed so fervently into a violent direction, if you think that my comment to him, my suggestion that he not lower himself to the passions of some Bruja was just idle chat, you should think again.
shall say
Stick to your own clan and find your own grounding, and do not involve yourself in anything that is related to the Malkavians of this city until you are told otherwise. And you should take this under very serious advisement, because I am a lot more familiar with this existence than you are. I have been around for a lot longer than you. And I am not going to see any member of my clan in this city be driven to that kind of violence by Bruja passions.
It seems you are foolish enough to buy into stereotypes.
I am not foolish enough to buy into stereotypes. I have seen this stereotype in reality many times. I am quite familiar with how your clan operates and how quickly you are driven to violence. And I am not going to see Axel or any other Malkavian driven to lose compulsion or composure and self-control because of the actions and passions of your clan.
Your
Your own clanmates can help you a lot better than any of us.
And your smile goes, your memory of that, with what happened that evening, must be wrong. I was one of the ones that voted for no violence against whatever they are.
Then why was it that Axel took a swing on you?
Your smile goes,
Something happened between you two.
and
And
goes,
that is what I am talking about.
he goes, I think he got angry because I did exactly the advice you just told me. I'm the one, and maybe I shouldn't have, but I felt that Lacey was safer knowing what was out there. She is, after all, my clanmate. I told her about what was out there, and that's what got him pissed off. That's why he wanted to punch me when I said that if
And
we
what
attacked them,
What exactly drove him to do that? Why exactly would Axel, because of the concern of Bruja, drive him to that kind of violence?
because he cares about Lacey. And as far as he's concerned, he
Was she to have been told about these things?
says, I just told you, I'm the one that told her about them. I felt she was safe in knowing what was out there.
Was Axel complacent in her knowing?
Goes, no, but
And this
as you say,
what I am talking about. You
I'm
told
going,
her, then Axel wasn't comfortable telling her himself. So, in other words, you went behind one person's back and gave information that you should not have given. And this is what I am talking about. This is the type of irrational Bruja action that your clan is very prone to. But
seems
do
you do
not
not make sense,
be
my friend.
mistaken. Do not be mistaken. And Stefan kind of looks at Howard. They are, I guess, prone to our own irrational actions as well. But at least our irrational actions are brought about by the fact that we have a lot more going through our heads than any other family in this existence, in any corner of this society.
if we cannot, guys, it is true, we cannot blame you for what is going inside your head. Blaming you for what is going on inside your head is exactly the same as blaming us for being driven by our emotions and our passions.
Oh, I am all too familiar with the ebb and the flow, the rise and fall of tidal emotions. I am more familiar with the influences, the external influences on internal emotions than you can ever know. And unless you would like to see just how fervent I can get, you should take every word I have spoken with a great amount of seriousness and learn from the older vampires in your own familial circles. Can't talk. Sorry.
He'll just smile at him. He'll say, he'll just, and he'll think, and goes, it seems you think I mean your clan harm. I do not.
No,
I respect your clan.
you misunderstand. I do not think that you mean anybody harm, but Bruja tend to be quite short-sighted when such passions come about. They act as a blurring and blinding of your own vision, both physically and mentally, and it allows you not to see past the immediate present. I am not trying to tell you not to ever again have contact with any member of my clan. I am suggesting that you give it quite a bit of time and actually learn from people like your sire, your Primogen, and others who are a lot older amongst your clan in the city.
He'll say,
We have our own concerns.
He'll say, I see what you mean, and in this case I have already taken to action what you have said. I care a lot about Lacey. Okay, I care a lot about Mercy. She is like a little sister to me.
Let your
and that
focus...
is why, guys, that is why I asked Wesley to look after her for me. I did not want harm to come to her because of me.
Let your focus be on Lacey and other members of your clan until such time as you have been able to wrestle with whatever demons you have.
He will say, I will be concerned about Mercy, and that there's nothing you can do about that, but rest assured, I will not seek her out. I will remain distant to her until this whole ordeal is resolved.
Are you so certain that there is nothing I can do to get you to do whatever it is I want you to? Are you so certain that I am so powerless to stop you in from doing whatever it is I do not wish you to do? Because if that is the case, you, Mr. Black Damien, are greatly mistaken.
Shall I say, what exactly is it that you think I want to do? You keep saying I want to approach members of your clan. It is not true. I would rather stay away from them because
What kind of interactions have you had with members of my clan in the city?
engaged mostly good. I have grown to,
Where has it been?
okay, I have grown to like many members of your, a few members of your clan. I look up to your primogen and I see Mercy as a sister. It is exactly because of that that I do not want to approach them.
Then we are in agreement.
And guys, yes, however, for the ones that come and seek me, I cannot do anything.
Then make absolutely certain that I do not ever see anyone, whether it is Axel or anybody else, do anything irrational because of any of your actions or words. Because if I do, that may get my own blood up. And you would not like to see when that occurs. But that is not a threat. That is simply a matter of stated fact. And Stefan looks over at Howard and just kind of smiles, quite large.
So I'll say the beast inside me is quite awful as well. I do not wish anyone to come up on it. And guys, it is already a shame that my clan have irrational actions. I would not wish upon it to anyone.
This is an interesting point, Mr. Holliday. The last time we spoke in the library, you had mentioned trying to figure out the details of this existence through science. Now, while I cannot say that there is no disease that can affect the brain and make people cause certain chemical reactions within that complex structure. What we are talking about is, how can we say it, more like an extreme case of emotional disorder. The real consideration here is look at the hierarchy structure of our little society buried within that of the mortals. And think to yourself, It is very familial in structure, so how far back does it go? From which, from where do we spring? Why is it that we have, how can we say it, very different factual, or very different factions between us?
All I must say is let us beware that saying that death is the opposite of life. The living being is only a species of the dead and a very rare species.
And we are not entirely dead. There is so much more to this existence than just our lack of pulse, heartbeat, respiratory action, and functioning organs. Our brains still function as they did in life, with some discernible differences. And, however, despite this fact, it is still possible for us to conceive life and soul in all of its many forms. But, and Stefan kind of looks at his watch. I must be going. I have to get to work quite soon. It was good speaking with both of you, and if you ever have need for a change of scenery, don't hesitate to visit the last resort.
So Damien will smile at Stefan. He'll say, the members of your clan that I know, the ones that have grown to like Lacey and Axel, and well, you probably can't. It is probably useless for you to do that to your Primogen, or you probably already do, but look after them.
I do what I can, or what others will allow.
Mr. Stefan, before I leave, I have one more last thing to say to you. I still live, I still think, I still have to live, for I still have to think.
And Stefan turns around and begins walking back up the beach toward the street into the darkness.
And that is where we will stop.